The article, Protecting the Privacy of Student Education Records, went over a few key points. The first one being privacy, second, definition of educational record, third, parent review and appeal, 4. Disclosure of student records and the restrictions of it, and lastly, additional provisions regarding FERPA. Relating to privacy, it applies to public schools and education agencies that receive federal education funds. This protects both digital and computerized records. Requires schools and local education agencies to have written and accessible policies about the restrictions pertaining to the release of student records. And lastly, FERPA gives parents access to student information unless the school has evidence revoking these rights. Now we're going to go over the education record. So according to FERPA, a range of information collected in schools such as date of birth, parents' addresses, emergency contacts, grades, test scores, transcripts, and official letters, as well as special educational records, disciplinary records, medical and health records. All of these including documentation of attendance, schools attended, courses taken, awards conferred, and degrees earned are all included. I'm going to go over the review and appeal, which says that schools and agencies must be prompt with their amendments if parent finds inaccuracies or misleading information in an education record. This provision does not apply to changing the grade and educational decisions about children that school personnel make. I'm going to be going over disclosure of student records. Education agencies and schools may release information from students' education records with the prior written consent of parents under limited conditions specified by law and stated in local agency policies. However, a school district is required to have a policy that specifies to whom it can release the records without parental consent. So these are some of the restrictions. Teachers and school officials who work at the school to which students apply for entrance, state and local education officials conducting audits or reviewing records in compliance with laws. And lastly, in emergencies, school officials can provide information from educational records to protect the health and well-being of their student. Additional FERPA provisions regarding 1994 Improving America's Schools Act amended several components of FERPA, tightening privacy guarantees for students and families. Any agency or institution that inappropriately re-releases personally identified information from an education record cannot access it for the next 5 years.